Hi guys, welcome to Back to Basics, episode 8, with myself, Sims, Az, and Slinky, with the funny faces as ever. Guys, quite a quiet show, I know I've been saying this the last few of them. It's been quite a quiet show, we haven't got really much to talk about. The main focus of the ones are going to be UMG Chicago, which we've got coming up very, very shortly. Looking to see who steps it up, really, from AGL 7, to see who kind of... yeah, who can step up to the plate, if any of the changes. We had some quite upsets, I think, at AGL 7, as far as I'm concerned. Definitely the best team won it by far. You know, definitely, I think it's safe to say we can all probably smile and say, yeah, definitely the best team won it. But there was a few upsets. I don't think... well, I say I don't think there should be, but anyway, enough's enough. Right, list as orders. We're going to go into the Halo Bulletin. I'm going to talk about the Halo Bulletin again. It's not really much, especially since E3. They've kind of been quiet. There ain't a lot going on. They've released... we're going to have Halo 5, blah, blah, and that's probably going to be the most of it, to be honest with you. It is what it is. We're going to be looking at the FFA that was announced by 343 Industries, the $500,000, comma, in prizes. Prizes, comma. So many people saying, $500,000. It's not, it doesn't look, it's not $500,000. Oh yeah, win an FFA. Here's $500,000, enjoy. It's not, it's going to be in prizes. Okay, people need to get that straight. Then, on to UMG Chicago, predictions, seedings from AGL 7 where people pass, blah, 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 blah. Slinky has spent a lot of time on this one, and this is like porn to him right now. UMG Chicago, mate. Me and Adam are going to be out drinking at the weekend. This guy's going to be watching the stream. I mean, he's going to be in the stream, like melting into the screen. And then we're going to talk about... Adam, can you just tilt your cap to the side and put it on and Diet Burberry? EGL 10. We're going to be talking about EGL 10. Or the lack of. There we go. Yep. Steve's in the house. Yeah. It's going to be a short one. It's going to be a messy one, to be honest with you guys. I'm sorry. We're a little bit all over the place. I've got a headache. Guys, make sure everyone's got the mics unmuted. Slinky, I'm going straight over to you, my friend, for the Bulletin.
Okay, straight off with the Bulletin this week. It was released 2 days ago, as you are watching this on Friday. We are recording this on Thursday, so for us it was released yesterday. And with it brought a massive, massive announcement, which we'll talk about in a different subject, because it's a completely different beast. It's just completely different. So we're going to talk about that next. But with the E3 going on in Los Angeles, the 343 staff really haven't been around to do a lot, and to be honest, this Halo Bulletin was more sort of a recap of what happened at E3, not so much on the Halo 5 side of things, or Halo on Xbox One, but it was more about Halo Spartan Assault, which is, you know, it was more almost like a recap of what happened at E3 rather than actual in-depth stuff about the game itself. So I'm gonna skip over that. It's not really worth mentioning, to be honest. What came on Monday, the previous Monday, Mini Slayer. Okay, imagine Spartans, okay, but really, really small, with massive guns and massive jetpacks, massive hard light shields, everything. Yeah, they essentially released it. I don't know what played it into, but they released, I'm pretty sure it was Action Sack. It was Mini Slayer, and all the Spartans are tiny, and you only start with an assault rifle, and it's really, really good fun. I mean, it's definitely a different Halo experience than I've ever had before, but I mean, it's really cool. They kind of talked about that a little bit, and then essentially after that, they're talking a bit about Spartan Ops and the matchmaking update for Spartan Ops. I didn't even know Spartan Ops had a matchmaking, but okay.
Shows how much matchmaking we do.
Honestly, I don't even think I've got Spartan Ops installed on my disk drive, so unfortunately, I can't really comment on that. But next week, well, I say next week, July 1st, so in a couple of weeks. We're going to get a lot of information. We're going to get the next matchmaking update, which is going to be huge. They're talking about big team skirmish. They're talking about team objective. They're talking about all sorts of different things, man. It's going to be really, really cool. Other than that, it was quite a short bulletin, to be honest. I mean, there wasn't really anything of actual interest in this bulletin, other than what we're going to talk about next. So, just quickly before we go on to that, Sims, Adam, what do you think of this one? What?
I'm not a fan of Mini Slayer, that's for sure. Yeah. Again, I think we're all still coming off the backlog of E3, really, aren't we? We're all still E3 was a big thing. They've got a lot to do and a lot. And I don't know why, but they're focusing on Spartan Assault. I don't know why when you've got Halo 5 in the pipeline and you're still trying to rebuild Halo 4. Why release Spartan Assault? It's just, for me, it's just a no-brainer and ridiculous. But each to their own. You know, they may think it's bringing more people in from the phone users, but I think you should make better what you've got now, or make even better what's coming out. You know, we've now got the new Xbox One coming out. Let's push for the old community. I'm seeing so many pros at the moment, or ex-pros coming back. You know, we've got Roy back in the game. I've seen T2 tweeting about playing it. I've seen today Walshy talking about the FFA. That's just that Slinky's going to talk about later on. You know, I saw Ghosty Army tweeting about Karma, kid to the armor, saying that he's going to let somebody else have his chair at the FFA thing. You know, these are all blasts from the past, and it's feeling kind of like it did. It's starting to get there for me, anyway. Yeah, just make better what you've got. But sticking back to the bulletin, we knew it wasn't going to match, and we didn't have much more. And this is why I'm kind of pushing for more guests to be on the show at this moment. We're going for a bit of a quiet patch, but with UMG, AGL, I think we're going to get something. I don't know if Slinky confirmed this. We're going to get something on I-49 very, very shortly, within the coming weeks or so. So we need to watch out for that on topmid.eu. Make sure you look out on topmid.eu. There's stuff coming about I-49. If you play Halo, we need you there.
It's really important stuff as well, something that will interest absolutely everyone. So make sure you stay tuned. It's really important. I
think we need to just reiterate the importance to the EU community that this event is what we need. I know I'm going a bit off topic here, but I just want to reiterate that I-49 in Telford is where you want to be. It's in August, top of my head? August, I think.
Last weekend in August, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Guys, topmid.eu. Get involved. I don't care where you're from in Europe. Get involved and get your asses over here. It's going to be one not to miss. Going back, Adam, have you... Nothing really helped to say on the bulletin, is there?
Obviously, the main thing. What?
Have you played Mini Slayer? That's a good question to start off with.
I have actually played Mini Slayer before it was out in the playlist. I actually played it.
Whoa, you got a badass over here.
We got a badass over here. But I quite enjoyed playing it before, but it was with increased speed, naturally, when we played it. And the BR could quad shot, which was quite interesting. But anyway, let's forget about that. But when I played it at the time, it was quite fun. But I haven't played it in matchmaking. And when I searched Action Sack, I could not even get a game of it. No one would pick it. So, yeah. But I think the biggest thing everyone's missing is a screenshot of this week's bulletin. Normally the screenshot's a little bit too emo for me, quite black and white. You know, too much lighting in the background. Wait a minute. But this week, we have, it's Cone Week, and there's a lot of killer cones in the bulletin. You should check out some of the screenshots. Go to the link at the bottom of this video and we'll look at some of the screenshots.
Honestly, there's one of them where it's like a cone, a man made out of cones with an energy sword trying to hit a spot, and it's so cool, man. You gotta see some of these.
By far the best one on there.
It's a cone with a sniper rifle.
Cone with the glasses on.
It's cone with
the glasses. He's like, you looking at me, punk?
Do you remember years and years ago, and I'm talking, well, in Halo 3, some guy was given, if I'm not mistaken, some guy was actually awarded the recon armor because he was the first guy ever to shoot the barrels on the pit, and it killed him, and he uploaded it to Bungie, and because it was the first person that they thought actually, then everyone were doing it then, everyone were jumping on the banner and being killed by the cone with the scumbag cone. I've had it happen to me, but I remember someone getting recon armor for getting killed by the scumbag cone. Back in Halo 3, I was playing Halo 3. Anyway,
but yeah, like that's literally the major thing to be covered in the bulletin is what we're talking about next. And the best thing I can read from it, apart from that, is the screenshot. So that's pretty much it from the bulletin, I'm sure.
Part 2, Big Slink Dog.
Okay, the massive piece of information that we were withholding from you is that 343 have announced that in partnership with Microsoft, they're going to be holding a worldwide free-for-all tournament. Up for grabs is $500,000 worth of prizes. So it's not actually may not be $500,000 prize pool, but there's going to be a few incentives in there. I imagine maybe top 32 might get a few Halo 4 goodies worth a couple of $100. So yeah, that's really, really cool because it shows a bit of developer support as well as from Microsoft as well. I think that's a big thing. So yeah, this is essentially a worldwide free-for-all. There's going to be online qualifiers. There's going to be LAN event qualifiers. I imagine one will be at AGL. I can't imagine they would have one anywhere else. And also at a Rooster Teeth Expo, which I know, maybe not the best Halo gamers might compete there. There's going to be a qualifier at the Rooster Teeth Expo as well, which unfortunately has sold out. So your best bet is waiting for an announcement again on July the 1st for all the details for this, the settings, where you can qualify. So July 1st, make sure you look out for that. It's huge. It's pretty huge. I'm going to reserve my views until after everyone else has had a say, but I think it's really, really good. I'm not going to say no to $500,000.
It proves that Microsoft don't think it's dead in the water. I think from our point of view, and even 343. It's not just going to be Microsoft and 343. They're going to put it. I'd be stunned if between them both they fronted the full $500,000 in prizes. I think there's going to be other developers involved, other game people. It's massive. It just proves that Halo is not dead in the water, and they're still wanting to move on with it and do things with it. I think we're all agreeing. Old saying, never look a gift horse in mouth, so to speak. It's going to be big, and it's going to be good. I don't think there'll be many Europeans in it, just from where it is. I think finals and most qualifiers on LAN, unless somebody sorts some I-49. I don't know.
I'm thinking straight away from an online qualifier. I'm thinking Hybrid. I'm thinking Brandon Stones. I'm thinking all these kinds of guys. Maybe even Warlord might sneak through. You never know. But I mean,
Big Stu and his router.
Big Stu.
Yeah, I mean, I know if it is on these LAN, if it's at specific places, then obviously it's going to be impossible for us. But in general, the whole hype around it is what is needed. Do you remember when they were selling the big truck? What was it? The Ford Raptor, the strong side one, and the amount of people playing. Like even people who played Halo 3 on my friends list that were Scottish, they ended up playing the playlist just because they wanted a shot to see how they could do it, see if they could try and win it. And obviously when it came out that we could win the car itself, people were still playing it. People still wanted the headset. So this is it's a step in the right direction. And as you said, it's good that Microsoft still cares. But I think, Sims, you need to share what your friend said, what that $500K could be worth.
You are. It's going to get there, and everyone's just going to get an unsold copy of Halo 4. There you go. There's $500,000 of unsold copies of Halo 4 for everybody. Get in there. No, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? It's a bit strong. Although he plays PS3, so he does deserve a quick straight to the forehead kind of thing.
I'm going to jump in straight here with my opinion. Again, all things aside, I mean, I think this is absolutely fantastic that 343 and Microsoft got behind Halo 4 and have provided some support for this tournament. But it is a huge missed opportunity in my eyes, and a lot of large American figures, in the Halo community, over in the United States community, the Beyond Entertainment, those kinds of communities. They sort of come out and said, why didn't you do a 4v4? Why didn't you learn from COD and do either a circuit of events, spread these prizes out if it is cash as they're promising? Why not do a circuit of 4v4 events, and why not absolutely just exhibition 4v4 Halo as it should be? Because not only is a 4v4 easier to cast, easier to watch, it's also much more fun to play, and it's not only that, it's they had a chance to broadcast Halo and set the tone for the future as a 4 versus 4 game and keep it that way, but they missed the opportunity, man. And I mean, again, like I said before, an FFA with $500,000 worth of prizes is amazing, don't get me wrong, but they just missed a massive opportunity. I mean, look at what the world qualifies for Call of Duty.
I think there'll be some method to the madness. There's got to be a reason. I can't imagine Bravo sat there and went, yeah, let's do an FFA. Cool story, bro. You know, I do. There will be, and I think this we'll probably see more of this. There will be a reason behind why we haven't got a 4v4 as opposed to an FFA. But again, shouldn't really knock it. Should we be getting something for now? More than anything, I'd say something for now. It's a bit of publicity for the game, and it might bring a few people back.
Do you want me to tell you why I think they went with FFA?
Is this going to be some sort of? Is this going to be one of the easy insider information?
If you think about it, right, the previous tournament they done was free for all. That was for the Bigfoot Raptor truck again, and it pulled in more people in any single playlist ever recorded on Halo 4. Now, in their eyes, they did a good job. The population spiked. Everybody was playing it. People were signing into the website, and it got a lot of publicity in the sense that everyone was talking about it, tweeting about it, and it was the most active tournament that Halo has seen. Now, the 4v4 tournaments, being AGL, being UMG, which is around the corner, these things have not anywhere near pulled in as many numbers as they have. That's probably the main reason why I'm thinking Microsoft will look at numbers. They don't care about how long we've been playing the game, how long we've been trying to change it, that we're stuck with it. They care about numbers. And if they're going to pull in hundreds of thousands of people for a tournament of this size, they're just going to stick with what they know. And that's the reason why I think they're doing it.
It's not a bad shout out, to be fair. It's you're looking at it from that point of view. Any John Doe can jump on and play FFA cat. They can jump into a match-made FFA game. You can't necessarily get all the social players and such, and all the single players that bob on for a laugh and a joke and who want to play it, picking teams up and trying to get teams and running randoms. People don't want to run in random falls. They're to enter a freaking competition where there's going to be money and stuff like that at stake. So. No, you probably hit the nail on the head there, to be honest with you, dude. It's, yeah, that's probably exactly it. I'm actually going to shut up now and slink in a corner. Just like where.
Fair enough. The thing that seems to strike me with this is, why they've done FFA is that it seems that when they say, again, a lot of the information in this is still very foggy and it's coming on July the 1st, so we'll get a bit more of a scope of what's going on then. But it seems to me, when they say qualifiers and they say online qualifiers, it doesn't seem to me that they'll be using a matchmaking system because it's a qualifier. I mean, again, you could argue that they could use the same system that they did with the Infinity Challenge and just say a point system. But how easy is that to manipulate? You could get 5, maybe 6 of your friends in the same free-for-all, no problem. And I know there are ways that you can force it so that you do that every single time. So it's, again, it would be, if they're organising these actual qualifiers, whether they're doing it through their website, whether they're doing it through any kind of system, I still think it would have been better to do a 4 versus 4. I mean, obviously, for the sake of ease and for the sake of numbers, it makes much more sense to do a free-for-all. But when you're thinking there's $500,000 worth of prizes up for grabs, people are going to enter if it's a 4v4, a 2v2, an 8v8. If it's a 1v1, people are going to enter. So, yeah, it's good. It's good. I'm leaving it at that. It's good. Good that we got some support. Let's leave it at that.
Now, the last thing I want to say is it is good. I mean, even on Go Beyond, Team Beyond, they've even got like a thread up, a practice thread, because it's not that easy to just go into free for all. You play Regicide and you pull in all sorts. I mean, guests by the thousands. Okay, but they've actually got a thread up and people have been replying to it, and it will gather more hype as it goes on. So yeah, I just wanted to add that in.
Yeah, it's good. I'll take part for the fun of it. Let's have a crack at it. See what happens. Right, I think we'll leave that one there because we're dragging a little bit on that topic. We're going to move on to UMG Chicago. As we all know, UMG Chicago I'd probably say, safe saying, AGL's biggest competitor as such in the competitive Halo community in the US. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to pass over to Slinky because he's just all kinds of giddy to talk about this one. The man's all over this shit.
I am all over this shit, as Sim said. UMG Chicago this weekend. Tom, it starts tomorrow. As you're watching this on Friday, it starts tomorrow, Saturday. On top mid, if you stay tuned, I'm gonna have a stream hub. set up on the site. You'll be able to see it on the navigation bar. I'll put it on the front page. I'll tweet it. You'll be able to get to it very easily. And what that is going to include is it's going to have the UMG logo, and you're going to have your stream solid. Just your stream's going to be there. So your UMG stream is going to be amazing. And then underneath that, what you're going to have is different tabs where you can see the seeds, the teams, who's on what team, which players, who's teaming with who, what the matchup's coming next. And then on another tab, you're going to have the bracket, so you're going to be able to see, when's the next big matchup coming? And it's going to be really, 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 really good. And then to see when the next matchup's coming, you're going to have the schedule as well. I'm going to make sure that all those are translated into time, the GMT time I think we're at now. So whatever time zone is being used in Britain, they'll be translated on this Stream Hub. But I don't know if any of you guys actually got to see it, so I'm going to bring it up quickly now. I recently posted an article on Top Mid, 5 reasons to watch UMG Chicago this weekend. And I'm just going to recap, a couple of those reasons why you should be watching this tournament. And number one, which I don't really think I made that important in my post, is the casters. Gandhi and Maven, who do such a fantastic job at AGL, they aren't there. They can't make it. So who's stepping in? It's Golden Boy for the win. If you guys watch the Call of Duty World Championships, this guy is an amazing caster, and he's
very good.
He's got the voice for it. And what really excites me about Golden Boy for the win, or just Golden as people call him, he not only does he know about Halo, but he actually knows how to call what's going on. I know, coming back to what I said, Gandhi and Maven, they do such a great job, but it seems to me that it's 100% analysis, whereas with Puckett, you had someone who's just calling what's happening as opposed to trying to analyse all the time. So with Gandhi and Maven, they're really, really good and really fun to watch because they have such great chemistry. But you never really seem to feel like they're presenting it to you, whereas Golden, who's going to be alongside Ghosty Army and other people as well, he's going to be able to present Halo 4 to you. So if you have no idea what's going on, you're going to be able to jump straight into the stream, which is going to be so, so good. It's going to be so useful for people coming back to watch Halo 4 stream. It's going to be really, really good. Back on to my 5 reasons. That was one of my 5 reasons. Number 2, I'm just going to throw it out there right now. The return of Roy is the single reason you should be watching this tournament.
The king.
Straight.
The king.
Flatline. Full stop. Roy. Watch. What more could you want? This guy was a beast in Halo 3. He literally never missed. It was a 4-shot almost every single time. And everyone remembers his strafe. Left, right, left, jump. Every time. It seemed to work. And I'm really looking forward to see how his team Classic do at this tournament. This is his first real tournament in a couple of years since Halo Reach, I think. Last he competed was in 2010, maybe 2011. So Roy's going to be back. It's going to be an exciting tournament because Classic for me, although Status Quo and Warriors are looking very, very solid, Classic for me are the only real team that are going to dethrone Ambush, which brings me on to the next point of why you should watch the UMG Chicago this weekend. Raid Ambush. These guys are insane. Like no other Halo team I've ever seen. I know I've said it before, I said it last week, I'll say it again. These guys are so organised. These guys are the best Halo 4 team in the world, on the planet. These guys are amazing. Just watching them is enough for me to just watch any stream.
It'll be interesting to see if they're going for the 4-peat.
The 4-peat, indeed.
They're going for the 4-peat, and everyone's going to want to win this. Everybody. We've seen a couple of team changes along the top 8. Not many, but there has been a few team changes and additions. Everyone wants that number 1 spot. Nobody wants them to take a 4-peat. Nobody. They all want that number 1 spot. So it's just going to be so competitive and so fueled and so fired. It'll be brilliant.
Yeah. And just quickly, the last reason you should watch UMG Chicago this weekend. I know that wasn't 5, but I'm just touching on tiny little bits. Halo 4 Turbo. The update, seeing it online, it was so good, and I didn't really think a lot of people got to watch Nashville that much, which was really the first time we got to see this update in action at a LAN event. This update makes Halo 4 look so much smoother. It makes the game look so much faster and so much faster paced, and I really think coupling with the other factors of the return of Roy, who's an individual beast, and everyone seems to know him in the from the old MLG days. Combine that with this new update and the skilled casting of Golden, I think it's going to be a really, really, really fun event to watch. So yeah, make sure you stay tuned to Top Mid. I have to stream hub up. I'm going to let someone else talk now because my mouth is dry.
You did very good, Harry, mate.
Thank you.
But yeah, no, I mean, obviously the work you're putting into it's going to make it a lot easier for people to keep on top of things. I mean, the hardest thing sometimes is people are sitting speaking in the Halo Skype chat and they don't even know that it's on. Or maybe not on Top Mid, they don't know where the stream is, and that will be great link. And you even said you're going to put like all the teams in there, and people are going to watch it, and hopefully, it's not going to happen, right? But there's a hope up there, right? Do you remember how big that COD XP thing was, where there was it? I'm going to lie and say 9 million, but it was a lot of people that were watching the stream.
It was 9,000.
Over 9,000. It was so many goddamn people, and
yeah, they were huge.
I hope that UMG gets promoted massively, so people start watching and go, oh, I remember Halo. Oh, it's 4-shot kill now. Oh, there's money being involved. Because something I always remember, someone said it might have been Roy or Bonzo on our forum. He said, even if I don't watch poker and it's like 10 million like to win, he watch it because it's entertainment. The money value brings in a lot of viewers. Regardless, like, I don't like COD. I think COD's quite poor. It's a good game for some people, but I watched the XP because it was like a lot of money online or on the line. So I was like, yeah, why not? But yeah, no, this event it's going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to seeing how Roy plays. I saw one of his gameplays that was thrown up the other night of him playing on Onyx. Might be Slayer, and he just the usual, just runs around.
Just a king.
He doesn't sprint. Have you noticed that?
I didn't ever use it.
Yeah, because tanks don't need to go that fast, man. They just like wander around and go boom, 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 and he was killing everyone. And he makes people who played the game a lot, like I'm talking about your APGs, your ninjas. He makes them look like they're nobodies. He just kills them.
Just walks through, doesn't he?
Yeah, and I'm looking to see how he plays. And he was quite loud. I don't know if a lot of people remember. Like the Roy and Lunchbox, like even the whole Instinct team, they were quite loud in general, but Roy can get quite mouthy when he's fired up. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, like the whole teams in general, and also I'm looking forward to seeing how Warriors play. Because remember last time we were told, pretty sure by Diesel, that it's APG and Legit have been together the past 2 weeks.
Goofy and Ninja
have been sitting side by side, and they needed that because Goofy was away for 2 weeks, and but they're back. And they're playing, and I think this is going to be, and this will be as close as a national championship, I guess, as you could get, because we've had a lot of AGLs, and this is like going to be, like at one point maybe even the pinnacle of Halo 4, like as we are just now. But I'm looking forward to seeing all the teams that come up, and yeah, but like you said, Rain are going to be so hard to beat. Like Ambush, you're going to just the slap status quo when I watch them, and I don't know. It's gonna take a shiny knight called Roy. I think.
Tell you what, then on that one, Adam and Slinky, quick rundown. Top 8. What I will do is I will read out the top 8 seedings rankings from AGL 7 in reverse order. So starting from 8 up to 1. I'll give you the team, and we'll decide between ourselves up or down. And if you can think of any team changes as well on that, spit it out, because the first one we come to 7th and 8th, Reality Check and Believe the Hype. I'm sure Believe the Hype have had a recent change. I'm sure someone else has changed on that team.
I think Neighbour, maybe. I think maybe, yeah. Neighbour has joined Believe the Hype, if I'm not mistaken. Just don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's Neighbour who was on.
So Reality Check and Believe the Hype 7 days, and all these teams may not even. I don't know if they're all. That's the cat dead. They may not all be attending UMG for all we know, because I know even like we've heard in Yandy Maven, for instance, 2 events across. Yeah. We forget how big America actually is to get across it. You're not driving from as is driving down from Scotland. They're flying a couple of hours across states. So. Believe the Hype and Reality Check, 7th and 8th, up or down for you guys?
I'm going to quickly ask, isn't Elamite Warrior now on Reality Check?
Yes.
Right. and do you remember what he did when he joined?
He looked Warrior, the 4-shot bait. What was it? He was a double shot king, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Jesus.
But I reckon if you slap him on a team, he's gonna do a lot better. But this top 8 is pretty stacked. Like I'm gonna go on a limb and say that BTH go up. I don't know about Reality Check. I think they might go down. Maybe.
Yeah. Harry?
If Believe the Hype picked up Neighbour, that's huge. I'm saying up. I think they're getting top 6, maybe even 5th, if they can. Maybe even 4th if they can dislodge someone like Warriors, someone like Status Quo. Maybe they could muscle their way in there. But I just think that Neighbour's still a beast. I mean, you think of Halo 3 when he was using a sniper that's 10 times harder to use in that game, and you give him the Halo 4 sniper, which is pretty much like a Fisher-Price sniper compared to the Halo 3 sniper. He's just a beast, man. He's going to be too good.
Have you seen Neighbours? He has a little video of his gameplay.
Yeah, against Ninja.
Yeah, and he chases the guy, and he shoots him like 4 times, and he misses. Oh, he doesn't kill him, and he snipes him in the face, and he's just like... like Neighbours...
You mad, bro.
He's a quality act, and he's a good player as well, so yeah, I agree that he's going to make a difference.
It'll be interesting to see what Reality Check do, because at the moment, even though they're quite famous, they're just not shining for me at the moment. There's no spark there for me at the moment.
The Uncle Sud is there to bring the spark.
I know, but the Suds, they're such a well-branded, we're looking at the Suds from Halo, they're reminiscent of Halo 2, these guys. These guys were playing MLG when people haven't even heard of Halo at the time. These are all throwbacks, and there's like a few people are on those other teams, but there just doesn't seem to be anything about them as such. They're all over Twitter, they're all over the forums, and I don't know. I don't feel it. I just do not feel that team. So on that one, I'm gonna say BTH up and RC down. That's my opinion.
Just quickly, touching on Believe the Hype, who have indeed picked up Neighbour. Their actual roster now is Cloud, Maniac, Lethal, and Neighbour. They screamed Warriors the other night, and Warriors took 10 of the 3 games, but you have to remember that Warriors are more than likely playing on a dual host with Ninja and Goofy, and don't forget that Legit and APG are at the same house as well, so that's a pretty good result for them, especially online. So yeah, they could be surprise upsets in terms of Believe the Hype.
Alright, moving up then, 6th and 5th place. We have Slaughterhouse and Crowd Pleasers. How are we sitting on those, Adam?
I'm pretty sure not both of those teams have not been confirmed. UMG.
Right.
I'm looking down the UMG Chicago TSP thread, and I don't see any of those teams unless the players have joined other teams. I don't see them on the list. So, like you said, America being a big place, maybe they're not going to the tournament. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Slaughterhouse, which was Neighbour, and Best Man's last team. Best Man can't go to Chicago, so now Neighbour's on Believe the Hype, and it's a massive jumble. So we'll just disregard those 2 and move on.
Okay, we'll move straight into his top 4 because we know these boys are here then. So, Warriors, as we know, it didn't go too well. Goofy didn't do a few good games. He had a bad tournament, to be fair, and even Ninja kind of put on his Twitter that he thought he'd failed himself. He'd not done as good as what he could do. But we've got to remember that they still, I don't care what anyone says, they've still placed 4th with an unpracticed team. That is a very, very unpracticed. Now, to place 4th in an event is still good in itself to come top 4. These are the best players in the world at the end of the day. So for an unpracticed Goofy, that was good. I mean, we saw APG just throwing some stupid ratios. That guy is... Man, he's on fire right now. He's such a good player. I also think with Warriors that they're definitely going to want to beat Classic. Definitely for the Ryanoob. A few comments throwing out. We all know what happened with Ryanoob. Ryanoob was dropped by Ninja and joined Classic, and I saw quite a few tweets saying should never drop a wild Ryanoob. Never drop a wild Ryanoob. So they're really they're gonna be chasing their asses. They're gonna be chasing Classic's tail regardless. So we'll do it in packs of 2 then. We've got Classic, and this will be good. Classic at 3rd, Warriors in 4th. Classic obviously with Roy. Warriors now trained up. Both teams up, or...
Warriors down to 5th, believe the hype up to 4th. And Classic up to 2nd, because they now have that X factor in Roy to just edge them past status quo. For me, that's how I see it.
Really? That beats what I'm going to say.
Is that what you're going to say?
I was going to say Warriors up to 3rd. Classic down. I'm sorry. I don't know.
It's Roy.
I know it's Roy, but I just don't know if he'll...
Boys, oh boy.
He's a brilliant player. All right. Bloody hell, calm down, lads. Calm down. All right, guys, calm down. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, and I'm sure I'll eat my words if they end up breaking Ambush's 4-peat performance. Yeah, I'm going Warriors 3rd, Classic 4th, or if SQ throw a bollock, Warriors 2nd, Classic possibly 3rd, maybe SQ dropping down. All right then. So what are you guys saying then?
I'm going to say, I think Warriors will be back up. I think they'll be up maybe even to 2nd. I think they can beat status quo if they're practiced. If Goofy hadn't played for, was it 2 weeks?
2 weeks he was...
And now he's back. I mean, if any player in the community hadn't played for 2 weeks, regardless if you're American or European, you're going to suffer. And he did. And I kind of... It depends completely on brackets. I'm the biggest person in the world to bring up brackets for placings, but in a perfect world, I reckon Warriors could go up, and I reckon Classic could go up. I'd love to see a loser bracket final of Warriors and Classic, because you have obviously Chig's always been solid since Halo 3. I've always liked him. Very unsung. You've got Mikwin, who used to be best pals with Ninja. Used to be like that for Ninja, right? Even flew over here to Europe to play together. They're not together, so obviously Mikwin's going in for Ninja. You've got Ryan Oob, who obviously got dropped from that team in the first place, so he's going out for everybody on that team. And then you've got Roy, who is God knows how many times like national champion, and he's also one of the original, one of the proper dynasties of Halo when he was an Instinct. So that's going to be quite a pressure orientated match, I feel. And a perfect world if it works out. So yeah, I think both will go up.
So why are we all putting SQ down then? Are we just saying they're simply not as good as the rest of the teams, or because we seem to be putting Classic and Warriors the general consensus between us above SQ?
It seems to me that SQ rely a lot on their communication. They're all, decent players, but it seems to all ride on their communication. Whereas, you look at other teams and they've suddenly got their X factors back. We talk about Classic with Roy. Goofy's going to be practiced. APG is obviously still a monster for Classic, not for Warriors. So SQ for me just don't have that X factor. I mean, I could be wrong. That could just completely blow me out of the water. But I mean, it's the communication. It all comes down to that communication. And if communication is all you're relying on, then it's other teams can communicate. You know what I mean? So
for me, just on that team, just because might be just because I'm a bit of a fanboy, but I still think on that team they have the single best objective player currently in the Halo community, and that would be Flamesword. Run, die. No, I think that this is the one thing that team's got. In my opinion, Flamesword is possibly, this is just my opinion, in the world the best objective player going. He is incredible. He's unbelievable. I mean, as you said, you just mentioned Pinchy. Then have you seen John's? Yeah, you know what I'm on about, on the what they called signature on top mid, that kind of thing, and it does. You do need to know how to play object. You don't need to just run at something. It's like, I'm going to run the bomb, guys. Oh, I'm dead again. I'm going to run it, and just keep running at it over and over and over again. You need to know what you're doing, when to push, when to pull, when to hammer bomb, when to stay back, when a flag's dead, Speaking of dead, I think he did kill his cat. He's just going to check if it's all right. I think. Nice ass, Harry. Nice ass. So it's whether, yeah, it's really close to calling it, lads. It really is proper close to call. All right then. So general consensus: classic Warrior SQ, 2, 3, 4, all chasing one another.
Yeah, I think the top 4 for me is interchangeable other than Ambush. So that's why it's going to be such a good event to watch, because I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah.
Ambush then, Harry, is that for you? Continuing the 4-peat hot streak?
Undisputed. I don't... they might drop a game here and there, but it's too easy. It's too easy at this moment in time. AGL 8 in Knoxville, for me, is going to be their first real test as a team. I mean, that would be their 5th event win should they come out victorious, but until then, I just don't see Roy and Classic being that much of a threat yet.
I have to 100% agree. Like, Roy is fantastic and all, but he ain't going to come back and win every event by himself, like, anytime soon. He's going to take a lot of practice. And we talked about amazing objective players. Did you forget Richie Hines? Like, Hines...
No, I know this, yeah.
He's like one of the best objective players out there. And do you remember when, like, back in even when Snipeman was on Triggers Down, when he was on Street Rep, and like, Snipeman, what a player, such a fantastic guy. And then Pistola was on Final Boss, like, oh, Pistola. They're on the same team. And you throw Formal in there, who's a bit of a reach god. You know, when I say bit, I mean he is.
Yeah.
That team, they didn't drop. Correct me, Harry. They didn't drop a single game, did they?
No, I think they dropped 2. They dropped
2. They dropped 1 in the finals and 1 earlier on in the bracket.
And like, to do that,
dropped 2 games over
the
that.
world stage is going to be hard to beat, man. Unless they're having like a bad day. Like, you know what it's like. I mean, even Chalky, last event, he had a rough weekend. He wasn't feeling too great, and he was one of the best players in Europe, and he didn't perform, as good. He still performed amazing, right? But he wasn't as good as what he could be. And that's the only way I can see Ambush maybe get knocked off the pedestal. But until then,
another big shout out on that team. I think after having him on the show last week, Jesus Christ, how much of a difference must Diesel make? I mean, that team, I think I'm right to say, that is a team of 5, not just a team of 4. All right, you got your players, but I mean, I really want to swear here, and I'm trying not to, but I could not believe the knowledge of that guy, the stuff that he was saying to us, and what he does for that team. If any team in Europe had the knowledge and the knowledge of a he didn't call it coach. What the word he
Coordinator.
Coordinator. I will say coach for now, but if anyone even in this EU had the knowledge that they have, they would cakewalk every single team in Europe. They would literally be the best team in Europe, because of the stuff that he was telling us. No team in Europe does that. No team in Europe plays half as aggressive as what top 8 American team does, and has half of a coordinator as what he is. There isn't most 90. I think at EGL probably maybe 70-75% of coordinator stroke coaches were simply there to time weapons. They were just there to time OS up in 10, and that was it. We did see it quite a lot, which credit to him, it can help out a lot. I mean, who did we play? I can't remember the name of who we played, but their coach, they had OS every single time. We couldn't get it off them, so they can make a big difference.
Crispy Crew?
No, it wasn't.
Coaching? Are you sure? Are you sure?
God, I've forgotten the names. It's what Gaskin was on. What team was Gaskin on? Rasta, yeah, it was Rasta. Omnipression was coaching them, and they had OS on the dot every second. You just have them jumping for it. As they'd land, top mid, OS were there, bang, instant.
Did you not comment me getting OS?
You know what? I was just about to say something on that one. If you'd have let me think, I did comment on how good your timing skills was. Don't worry, we all know how much of a big-headed bitch you are.
You do realise it was nothing to do with my timing. The ultimate coach I think that exists in the European side has to be Dimitri, also known as Venom. He is the only reason we even got reasonably near, like, as good as we placed that event. Like, you need someone behind you who knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, it just backs up what I'm saying, doesn't it, about having...
You need a solid coach, yeah, and he timed everything for us, and ever since we've been playing online, fight him, it's kind of like, all times the last boom with the spawns, like, but yeah, you need someone, like, good.
Julian, I don't know, chase it, run it, quick! Yeah, I think it's safe to say that even no one in the US community has got a good good a coach as what Diesel is for them. They really are the best 5 in the world right now.
Who was the instinct coach? Was it X? Is it Triple X? He was good. Do you remember him?
Okay.
Towie?
I'm saying Towie.
Towie. There was another guy though. He was really good. I'm pretty sure it was Triple X. He was really, really good. Like
Hamza calling the shots of this. I don't often talk, but when I do, I know the answers. What was it? Oh, I'm going to say something else on that one. Oh no, I've forgotten. Anyway, right. So, Harry, Adam, are we set on? I know Harry is on the 4-peat. What are you saying, Adam? Winners?
As much as I like to go the other way. Not what you guys are thinking about, but I like to go the opposite of what people say. But I think it's going to be Ambush you're going to take it again. The only person comes close is going to be Warriors, but I don't think even they're ready. So until then, Ambush.
Ambush first, SQ Classic and Warriors pushing for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Then we said Believe the Hype and obviously RC pushing for 5th and 6th and a couple of new faces maybe up to 7th and 8th place because we're not seeing Slaughterhouse or Crowd Pleasers. I'm happy with that one if you boys are. It should be a good weekend. I'm going to try and make a special effort to watch because I do want to be able to talk about it. Right, as we are now 45 minutes in, we are going to move on to our final... This will be a quick one.
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't know really who's going to start this one off. I mean, you know what? Screw it. I'll go ahead. EGL 10. We were told by Mr. Mello that we may have something announced. I mean, we have been given a definite date of August or May that he said. I'm sure it was.
He said...
Definitely said 1 month.
He said last week of July.
Right.
It's getting incredibly close to that time, Mr. Mello.
We were definitely promised an EGL 10 event at some point, if not a special Halo-only event. I think it's safe to say from my point of view, and I'm not going to... This is only my personal point of view to the EU community. I think for the moment, and this is only my point of view, this is not from anyone else, this is simply Sims' point of view, because I don't want any trouble coming off back case. I think for the time being, everyone needs to scrap off the idea of an EGL 10, because to me, it's just simply not going to be happening. It's getting too close to the time. A lot of people are struggling. Even I go on holiday like a week after I-49. Even I can't go to both events. We've heard nothing. We've heard nothing back of an event, of even a definite date. So no one. If I had to book time off, I'd struggle to book time off. To be fair, for me, it's just not going to happen. I mean, I do hope that it comes through with this Halo-only event, and I do hope that it's maybe a month or two after I-49, multiplayer's I-49, because it gives us something to look forward to, maybe 3 months down the line. I think that even if they did come out at the end and go, oh, wait, here's an event, we're doing it a week or two before I-49, I'm personally, if you had a choice between the two, I definitely would say that we should definitely go to I-49, because this thing is going to be a massive event for the European Halo community. And not only that, we have to prove to ourselves as a community, Spence said this before, we have to prove to ourselves, to I-49, to Multiplayer, to Insomnia, that we deserve a spot there, and that Halo is here. Halo is a moneymaker. You know, we keep complaining that people aren't playing it and we don't get enough events. But I tell you what, guys, if we don't go to this, we're not going to really get any more. We need to prove to those that we are worth our money. They are worth our time and effort. All being well, we should get some more information in the coming few days, stroke week, from Mikel and Roy on what's going on with I-49. Take it from me, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be such a brilliant event. I mean, I'm not even playing. I'm going down just to see everybody and have a laugh through the week. And I'll if anyone wants me to play with them, I will do. I'm proven to be shit on land, but I'll happily have a go with people and have a laugh and a giggle. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be fantastic. But enough about that. What has happened with the European Gaming League? Seriously, it's just died. There's just nothing there. I mean, I hope Chris watches this, Mel, and I hope if you do want to come on and explain to us what's going on and to the rest of the population, that even Adam said not so long back. I remember you saying this, Adam, that even if you'd still go to both, even when it was, people like yourself who are willing to pay, customers willing to pay, saying, here's my money. I remember someone putting up the Fry thing saying, take my money. Yeah, there's people ready to pay up and have an event, but they're just not giving us it. And another thing what winds me up is, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure even all the stuff that we were given, there's still people who hasn't been paid. Still money just not floating around. He's not looking good at all from EGL's point of view.
I'll tell you what is hurting EGL the most is the prize money thing, because a lot of major American COD teams, I know for a fact that Prophecy and others will just flat out will not attend EGL until they pay out the prize money. And Optic as well, as Adam's just pointed out in the chat. So it's a real shame because in my eyes, I mean, I went to two EGL events. I went to Manchester and the last Blackpool. They were really fun events for me. But it's a shame. It's a shame really, because they're losing people by the day. And as long as they're not revealing any kind of dates, any kind of communication whatsoever with, well, I don't know about other communities, but us and the top mid community. Until then, it's what can we do other than look forward to Insomnia? It's a real shame because
Can we do?
I'm afraid they're going to be blown out of the water by Insomnia if it goes to plan, because Insomnia is such a huge and consistent LAN event, because they're such a huge company. Multiplay, I should say, do such a good job in organising these events in advance. Like, you get about a year's heads up or something like that.
I'm right in saying there's 4 a year as well?
Yeah, it's usually one every season, so yeah, one in winter or autumn, etc. So yeah, unfortunately, the more time that goes by that EGL don't communicate or say what's going on or sort something out, the more people they're going to lose out, and that's a real shame, because not only for Call of Duty, but Halo as well is going to suffer. So it's just a shame. It's a shame they couldn't really deliver on any of their promises, really.
I think as well. Oh, sorry, Adam. No, you're right, mate. You're far away.
All I was going to say is that I hope this isn't true, right? But I just have this horrible feeling that they do owe quite a lot of money to a lot of teams and players, and it's going to be a lot of paperwork to get it all back. And I have this horrible feeling that they're going to leave the event to the end of July. Then it's going to be after that they're going to make it harder and harder to get the date's going to get closer, and it's not going to happen. And Chris Marsh, this is obviously a joke. He's going to be sitting on some beach in Hawaii, cigar in one hand, and a bottle of bubbly in the other. And he's not.
What's really funny as well is that I've heard from unnamed sources that EGL were at E3. So as long as they're having a nice little holiday, checking out the new Call of Duty game in Los Angeles while we're sat here, waiting for a new event, it's all good,
Yeah, we don't mind.
Yeah, just as long as you enjoy that.
Disappointing, isn't it, more than always? Disappointing.
Yeah, I just hope that, I hope that's not the case, but, it is getting, it's getting there. The time is getting a bit beyond, it's beyond a joke, I guess, is alright. It's a nice way to say it. And I think, as a paying customer, I've been to every single EGL, been to every single one of them that was also Halo, and I'm not exactly a very confrontational, angry person, but I'd like to know what's going on, Mr. Marsh. I've spoken to you before. You're a nice guy, so what's going on.
Chris was a spot on guy, and I'll say to you now, Chris, we really enjoyed you on the show, but the thing is, you were saying some stuff and giving us dates and plans and things like that. There wasn't a definite month. I even tweeted a definite month of what he said, and I think if that month comes and goes, they've shit it as far as I'm concerned. You're not going to be, even if it says right, there's an event coming up just before Insomnia. I'm not going. I can't go because I can't afford a holiday and I-49. I can't afford to do both, and especially if they go down south, and you'll be able to back me up here, Adam. If they go to London with it, no, shut up, Harry. Newcastle. We got no chance. So yeah, Chris, by all means, if you watch this or anyone else representing EGL, please come on this show and tell us what the hell is going on, because nobody knows, and if you guys don't know, how do we know? Right. Well done on that one, lads. Are we gonna wrap this up? Right, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. I'm sorry it's been a bit of a higgledy-piggledy show tonight. It was we have tried to make it involved as much, especially with the UMG. It's been quite quiet. There hasn't been a lot going on. It's a bit hard with the Halo Bulletin being so quiet. We've got us 4-shot settings, a couple of updates. Oh, that was an update we missed. We did V4 not go live into Throwdown on Monday?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The one thing that we did miss out on V4. Mr. Ghost V4 settings did go live into Throwdown, and they are fantastic, so I recommend everybody play it, and then you end up, like I do, getting matched up against other Yearden players. Hey!
Yeah, I'm really enjoying running around Station 9 with a Needler at the moment. It's really funny.
Oh, stop.
There is a slight problem, though, with the extraction times on Dispatch and... No, not Dispatch, they don't play Dispatch. Haven and Station 9. The convert time is 3 seconds instead of 5, so... the initial arm time is the same time as the convert time, so use that knowledge to your advantage and go make some people incredibly angry.
And the good thing is that you can now actually you can play like matchmaking. You can get a game quite quickly rather than sitting around waiting for customs, playing random fours. Normally people that search Throwdown are normally our team of 4, and regardless if it's Canadian, American, doesn't matter, you're all playing the same settings and it's enjoyable. I've been playing it most of today. I could have joined a custom. It was like a random fours game and like it was taking forever to fill up. And then it did fill up and there was 3 of us, 4 of us left out. So we just played matchmaking. No problem. We enjoyed it. So yeah.
Sweet, it's a winner. Right guys, I'm going to say goodbye now, but I'm going to throw it to Harry at the end. It's been an absolute pleasure. All been well. I'm going to try and get an American on, talk about UMG and their thoughts, so make sure you watch it and then at least you'll have relevance to what we're talking about. So from me, Mr. AZ, I'm going to let Slinky sign himself. I bid thee farewell. Harry, I'll let you finish off, pal.
Yeah, just really quickly. Next week, it's going to be majorly just a UMG recap. We're going to talk about all the juicy info that happened at UMG, because I'm sure all of us here will be watching. I hope you guys watch at home as well. Make sure you stick on top mid for that stream hub that I'm sorting out for you guys. It's going to be really good. It's going to be really easy to access the UMG stream. So... yeah, other than that, any other tidbits we find, obviously we'll be covering the Halo Bulletin again. How much info comes out of that, I'm not really sure, but the week after that, we're obviously going to have all of the info from this $500,000 worth of prizes, FFA tournament. So we're going to have all the juicy information from that, so stay tuned. Thanks a lot. We'll see you soon. Slinky, signing out.
Bye.
Peace.